Ooh. Oh my God. I'm literally sweating, man, off the back of that match, man. Oh.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I mean, kudos. We got that 3 points, 2-0 victory. I kind of predicted that in my preview, but that is not the kind of match I predicted, man. We I don't know whether we deserved it, but kudos to Mason Mount for pulling out a couple of bunnies out of the hat, especially that free kick. Oh my God, that was a sensational hit, and obviously that opportunistic moment in the first half. But honestly, if it wasn't for Kepa in that first half, that barrage of continuous attack after attack after attack after attack from Aston Villa, we were dead. We were dead. How we came off that first half 1-0 up, and it wasn't at least 3-4 Aston Villa, I will not know. There were some unbelievable saves from Kepa, man. One at least, a point blank range header. Can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Danny Ings. Kepa had no right to save that. He had no right to save that, and he saved it. And oh my God! As I said, if it wasn't for Kepa Arrizabalaga in that first half, we were dead. And even also, in the second half, up until we started off the second half quite okay, and then 6 minutes later, 7 minutes later, Aston Villa kind of came back in. And if it was after the Mason Mount free kick when it all sort of all kind of came into a bit more control. Look, let's talk about the match from the beginning. The lineup was once again, Graham Potter just keeps surprising the fan base with all these wild lineups. But I didn't mind it because there was a lot of attacking players there. But without Reece James, obviously it threw everyone off as to what's going to happen. Is it 3 at the back, 4 at the back? Who's wing backs? Started off with Sterling as a wing back, but very quickly we realized that is not working because Aston Villa was targeting that right side of ours without Reece James. Then Ruben Loftus-Cheek went on that right side, and Sterling sort of moved forward. Mason Mount dropped into the pivot, and we still couldn't handle it. Chalobah was finding it difficult as well on that right side. Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the wings, yes, added physicality, but was struggling in that first half. Mason Mount, yes, dropped into the pivot, but still wasn't the coordination. Without Reece James, the biggest reality check that we got today, and it shouldn't even be a reality check. We should have obviously still remembered from last season. Without Reece James on that right side, it is mayhem. It is absolute mayhem. The drop-off in class is astounding, and it's something we need to heavily work on. Luckily enough, in this game, Graham Potter was consistently changing. He could sense, he could see that we are getting decimated. And he was throughout the match making changes. Obviously, we'll touch on the halftime changes, but it wasn't just the right side. The left side equally was getting ripped apart. That was probably Mark Cucurella's one of the most worst games I've ever seen. I love this player a lot. I've seen him in Brighton. Even in Brighton, I don't think he had a performance like that. That was probably the worst Mark Cucurella performance in the Premier League ever since he joined. Everything he was rushing into, rash tackles, getting beaten, mistimed passes, out of position, getting beaten with pace. That was erratic. Mark Cucurella needs to watch that and just calm himself down because I don't know what happened to him. He was all out of sorts. And then Ben Chilwell as well. Look, I can't be slamming Ben Chilwell. Yes, he did really well for that first goal. Did a nice drive, tried to dink a ball through Tyrone Mings with a bad pass back, and Mason Mount was there opportunistic to score that goal. But besides that, even Chilwell was getting beaten for fun with pace. He's obviously lacks that explosiveness, his awareness, that tackle. I don't know whether that was just a yellow, man. That was probably borderline red card. There was that one tackle in the first half. But as I said, we probably need to expect that with Ben Chilwell. that ACL injury ain't no joke, man. That ain't no joke. For him to come back to those levels, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. But of course, it didn't help out having a partner like Cucurella. Luckily enough, in the second half, Cucurella was gone straight away. At halftime, was taken off. Koulibaly came on, looked a little bit better. Not like extremely better in the second half, but a little bit more, reserved, a little bit more secured. We were dealing with the crosses. They were just peppering us with cross after cross after cross. In midfield, I have to say, even Kovacic, that first half just lacked any composure, any control, man. Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic, Mason Mount. It didn't matter. It just lacked composure, lacked any sort of control. Kovacic, some good drives, but lacking in that passing department. And Kovacic has been very inconsistent. Since he's sort of come back into the team off the back of the earlier stage where he was injured. Up front, Sterling, probably the standout bad player. And this is now too many games in a row where Sterling has been not performing. I'm very surprised that Christian Pulisic didn't get a call up in this match. Kai Havertz, once again, what can I say? Kai Havertz got hooked off at halftime. Kai Havertz probably shouldn't have started this game, man. Christian Pulisic, I feel like it's a bit harsh. But as I said, I can't sit here and complain about Graham Potter because so far he's been getting everything right. This match, I don't know whether he got it right completely. But he was trying to rectify it. He was proactive in rectifying it. So that is where I want to give him a tick mark. But yeah, getting back to that Sterling situation, he's probably the other player besides Mount scoring his goals. He probably had some really decent opportunities, man. One inside the box, hit the post. The other one, there was a header, no pressure on him. He probably could have, even in the second half, he had a chance as well. Sterling needs to put chances away, man. I know we can sit here and say in Man City, he was getting a lot of chances. So eventually he put, one of those chances away. In Chelsea as well, this match, he had at least 3 good chances. He needs to put them away, man. There was another ball, I think, can't remember, maybe it was Mason Mount into the box in the second half. And Sterling, all he needed to do is control it and then smash it. But he just didn't have that. The ball got snapped away from him. It might have been Ashley Young. Sterling needs to wake up, man. You are one of our key players up front. You need to help us out, man. These upcoming matches without Reece James, we need to, up until the World Cup, we just need to do a job and just see these matches through. But one of those players that's going to help us see these matches through is you, Raheem Sterling. You got to step up, man. Aubameyang as well. Anonymous in this game, man. Not in this game. And he also got taken off early in the second half. Kai Havertz, though. Kai Havertz hooked off at halftime. What is Kai Havertz giving us? Besides that one really good run in the first half where he created a shooting opportunity for Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz gets dispossessed. The pace isn't there. Mistime passes. I feel like maybe Christian Pulisic probably deserves something. Christian Pulisic 2 matches in a row not starting, man. And I think now it's a little bit, I hope he starts against Brentford because I can't see how we can justify Kai Havertz getting game time. As I said, throughout the match, Graham Potter has been really, really busy being proactive, chopping and changing Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Second half, he brought Ruben Loftus-Cheek into the middle again, took Kovacic off, brought in Jorginho. Mason Mount, look, sensational in terms of getting the goals. But besides that, probably in the second half, right at the end, after he got the goal, he sort of came alight again. He's off the ball, defensive work with the ball as well, very good. But the first half, look, collectively, no one was good. But kudos to Mason Mount for looking out for that opportunistic goal. I guess today's goals are rewards for playing so well for the past 3 games. But today, look, I don't want to be too harsh, but it's collectively not good enough. But at least Mason Mount gets the goals. This is very important. At least today, important goals, winning goals. Especially that free kick, man, that knuckleball technique, that knuckleball hit. Some people say, oh, that's probably poor goalkeeping. But I don't think so, man. Martinez is not a poor goalkeeper. That was well thought out. And that ball swerved around a lot, man. That was the knuckleball hit from Mason Mount. Look, if you don't perform at that up to optimum level, like the way you did against AC Milan and Wolves, at least chip in with the goals, which is what Mason Mount did, and they were winning goals as well. So kudos to that. Conor Gallagher comes on, does very well. Obviously, Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the second half with those drives much better as opposed to the first half. Jorginho comes in, gives us a bit more sort of control in the game late on. Defensively, Koulibaly, as I said, gave us something. Thiago Silva was probably the rock-solid player in defense. Chalobah, bits and pieces here and there, but once again, the undefeated Chalobah stats continues. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about Kepa, man. Kepa was... Sometimes the disrespect this guy gets because Mendy is the superior shot stopper. This game, there was a moment where there was 3 shots and Kepa saved it all. And then there were other moments peppered with crosses, headers coming in, left, right, etc. And Kepa's keeping us in. For me, seriously, Kepa's probably the man of the match. Yes, Mount gets the goals, but Kepa, if Kepa didn't keep us in the game, oh my God. Look, as I said, Potter maybe didn't get it right in terms of the team selection, but at least he was proactive. Look, we get the 3 points, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0 victory. I expected us to have a lot easier game than that against Aston Villa, but Aston Villa, man, they made it very, very difficult and tough. But a lot of it, I feel like, was unforced, man. Like, I don't think it was forced errors, like unforced stuff, but they were really honing in on that right side. We've got Brentford coming up. We've got to think hard. What do we do on that right side, on Reece James's side? Because that is scary days. That is scary days. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up too much of your time. It is quite late for me as well. Smash the like button. I'm just happy we got the 3 points. We move. We've got to think deep against Brentford because Brentford are going to be a lot more physical than Aston Villa. And Aston Villa were hell physical and they were quick as well. Yeah, we can't just rely on Azpilicueta on that side. Azpilicueta came on in the second half, and after 15 minutes, he was jogging around. So something to think about, man. Something really deep to think about. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you felt about that game, and smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.